Hi everybody. So I'm going to show you how to make this little Pixie bonnet. I made this for my baby niece, and she is about 6 months old, so that's what size I made it for. But you can easily adjust the size to however big or small that you want it. Okay, for this project I'm using the Red Heart Unforgettable yarn. I took the tag off a while ago, but it's still a 4-ply worsted weight acrylic yarn. It's just a little different looking, but you can use any 4-ply yarn that you have if you don't have this. And then I'm going to be using a size I 5.5mm crochet hook. And then I'm going to start off with a chain of 50. But you can adjust the size of this by making a chain. I mean, you can even make this for an adult if you wanted to, but just make a chain, and then for as long as it needs to be able to go over the top of the child's head or the person's head and back down to where it will be able to tie. So a little bit lower maybe, or about chin size, around the chin maybe, like around the head to about chin length, if that makes any sense. And once you get that, but I started with a chain of 50, and then you want to double crochet in the 4th stitch from the hook. This yarn's a little dainty kind of, so it's, and then I'm going to work across, putting 1 double crochet. I do have trouble with this yarn sometimes. It's really pretty though. It just slips off the hook real easy. Then you want to put 1 double crochet in each stitch for the length of your chain. Just like this. I'm about to give up and use a different yarn in a second. I'll get the hang of it in a minute probably. So just put 1 double crochet in each stitch for the length of your chain, and I'll meet you back up here. Okay, I made it to the end of my chain here. Now what you want to do is chain 3 and turn your work. Now we're going to be working front post double crochets and back post double crochets, and that's going to create ridges, or ribbing, I guess, if what you want to call it. But we're going to start off by yarning over and doing a front post double crochet by going right around the front part of this post, and then finishing out my double crochet. It's just doing a double crochet, but you're just working around the post. And then the next one, we'll do a back post double crochet. We'll yarn over and we'll go in from the back and back around the post. See how the post is on the back of my hook? And then double crochet. And then the next one, we're going to do a front post again. We'll yarn over and go right around the post of the stitch, the whole post. And then you do your double. And then the next one is going to be the back post double again. Yarn over, and this one's the most awkward, but you just go in from the back and back around the post from the back way. And then you finish your double. The next one is going to be a front post double. Yarn over, go right around the front of the post, finish out your double. And then the next one is going to be the back post double again. Yarn over, going from the back. And then front post double in the next. And then back post. Front post. You'll be able to see the ridges or the ribs more once you get more rows, but you'll start to see them better. So you just continue doing front post, double crochet, back post, double crochet, front post, back post. And you want to do it all the way to the end of your chain. Okay, when you make it to the end, you just want to do just do a double crochet in your last stitch. Chain 3 and turn. And now we're just going to do the same thing that we just did. But we're going to make sure we follow the order that these ridges are going. So if the first stitch here, my first stitch is a back post, you can see it back here. So I want to make sure I do a back post again to line it up. Like that. That way it lines up. And then my next one is the front post, because you can see it. But right now it's facing me, so it's the front of the post. And I want to make sure that I do the front post again. That way my ridges stay lined up. Like that. And the next one is back here. You can see it way back here. You flip it over, you can see that the ridge is back on this side. So make sure you do a back post right around the post, like this. Double crochet. Oh. And my next one is the front post, so I'm going right around the front of the post. And then back post. Front post. So every row is going to be like this for a while. I'm just doing front post double crochets and back post double crochets. And I'm just making sure that my posts stay aligned up. I always do a front post on top of the previous front post. And my back posts are always going to be on top of my previous back posts. That way my ridges always stay aligned like that. This is kind of hard to tell with this yarn, but when you flip it over, you can see they're lined up here. And when I get to the end, I'll just double crochet in the last stitch, chain 3 and turn, and just keep doing rows of this. It's just important that you make sure you keep your stitches lined up, or your ridges lined up. That way they're all going the same direction. And I'm not quite sure how many rows I'm going to do with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on it for a little bit. And I'll let you know here in a few minutes how many total rows I do. Okay. I went ahead and did 15 rows. But if you want to do it bigger, if you're doing it for a bigger child or an adult, this is what you want to how to tell how to make it big enough. So let me kind of stretch it out. What we're going to do is we're going to sew, fold it in half, and we're going to sew this back shut. So this is going to be the opening. So you can put it over your head or your child's head and see if this part comes out far enough. And we'll put some ties here. So whatever, you know, you put it over your child's head, and if you feel this is over their head big enough, however big, till it goes over the front of their head. But I did 15 rows for mine, so, but I'm making a small one. So if you're doing it for an adult, you're going to have to keep going until it reaches, you know, over your forehead, the top of it. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and clip this off. Get these new scissors from one of my Facebook friends, followers, Yvonne. Thank you very much. She sent them to me for Christmas because, you know, she knows my scissors are bad. That was really nice of her. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to sew it shut, and then we'll go around the sides and straighten them up. But if you have a side you like better or whatnot, they both kind of look the same to me. But just fold it in half. Hold it in half, I'm sorry. If you have a side that looks better to you, fold it the side that you don't want to see facing you, because we'll flip it inside out. We're sewing it wrong side out, so. But they look the same to me, so it don't really matter. But I'm just gonna slip stitch it together. So I'm gonna start with a slip knot on my hook. Oh. And I'm just gonna start down here in the first stitch, and then the first stitch on this side, if you can find it. Just kind of get close to it. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull through that slip knot that's on my hook. Okay, now I'm just going to go across, matching stitches, and slip stitching it together. Going through the stitch on this side, and then a stitch on this side, and slip stitching. And I'm going to do that all the way to the top. Just like this. Okay, when you make it to the top, just go ahead and tie that off. And you can hide that tail. I'll do that in a minute, but you can flip it right side out. And there you'll have your little, start looking like a little hat. It's kind of got a little point, the little pixie point up here a little bit. You got a nice seam in the back, like that. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of a bunch of these tails, but now what I'm gonna do is make some strings, and I'm also gonna go around this. So I'm gonna start with a chain. For as long as I want my little stringies. So you just kind of get them for as long as you want them. I'm starting with a chain of 22, but you can do yours. Oh, as long as you want. There goes my phone cord. Okay, once you get your chain made, remember it's going to hook right here, so you can just adjust it for as long as you want it. I'm going to do chain of 25. And now what we'll do is we'll just Come over here to the good side facing you. We're going to single crochet it to the very corner here with our chain on it. Single crochet it right on like that. And now I'm just going to work putting a single crochet in every stitch. And you're not going to be able to see these stitches that well, so just do your best to space out single crochets like this. Just try to guess about where they should go because you're working on the sides of the stitches. So one single crochet in every stitch. And you want to single crochet all the way. We're going to be single crocheting all the way up the bottom part down through here. So here's our back right here, here's the front, and here's where the single crochets are going to go across the bottom. Okay, this is where I started down here with my chain, and I've been single crocheting all the way up front, and I'm down here to this corner. And when you get down to this corner, you want to do your string again right here. Since however many you chained, I chained 25, so that's what I'll do again. And then we'll just go ahead and start single crocheting. Just go ahead and go to the second stitch on your hook, back up, chain, one single crochet in every stitch, right back up this chain that we just made. Just like this. And this will make our little ties a little bit thicker. Like that. And I've been single crocheting up back up the tie. And now I'm just going to keep single crocheting now. One single crochet in every stitch across here where we just single crocheted. Across the bottom part here. You see what I'm doing here? Here's the back, here's the front, and we're single crocheting across the bottom here. And I've got my ties made. And I'm just going to keep single crocheting where we did before. I'm just going over it again with another row of single crochet. And when I get to my tie, I'll just put one single crochet in every stitch of this chain. Like this. Okay, once you made it down and single crocheted the side of this tie, go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and tie off here, and I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna hide all my tails so they're out of the way. So you can go ahead and get all your tails hidden. Now I'm going to make a couple of little pom-poms to put on the end of these strings. So I'm going to set that to the side. You don't have to do this if you don't want. but if you have a pom-pom maker, you can use that. But I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers here quite a few times. Until it gets pretty thick. That, and I'll just pull off my fingers. Set it here. Now I'm going to get a piece of this string, piece of this yarn, and set it like that to where I can tie it in half. Not like that. I'm going to leave these strings long right here so we can sew it on, but do it about like that. This is how I make a pom-pom. I don't know if it's right, but... And then just clip these in half. On both sides. Like that, and then I'll have to shape it up. Just take it, and now I'll just trim it up and make it, form it into a pom-pom ball. And I'm going to make 2 of these to put on the ends. So you just got to work with this a little bit till it gets to the shape that you want. Okay, when you get your pom-poms made, take your 2 strings that you left long, put them on a needle here, and then I'm just going to sew them on to the ends of my ties. Sew it really good so it doesn't fall off. And this is how you want to do both of them, like this. And after I get these pom-poms sewed on, I think that's all I'm going to do. I think it turned out pretty cute. So please don't forget to check out all my other tutorials too. I have a whole bunch of them on YouTube. And you can always check me out on Facebook, or you can post all your crochet items on there. I'd really like to see them all. If you make this or anything else, you can post it on there. And I hope that you were able to follow along with my tutorial, okay? Hope I didn't confuse you. And until next time, have a good day.